Hello everybody. We're going to talk a little bit more about methods. In the last video we talked about your basic, here's how a function, here's how a method works. So we're going to add a little bit more to that. We'll make a couple more and play with them, and you'll see a little bit more about how they run, how they work. Add a little bit more length to some of the methods. Now, as with most things in Python, you tab over, and everything that's tabbed over is considered inside that method. In Java, we put a brace here and here, and that would basically consider what's inside that method or function. In Python, it's all about the tabs. So we'll just go ahead and make another one here. Def, I'll just call it, let's say, just simply print2. I'll give it name, comma, age, or something. Now, since I'm not defining what these specifically are, I'm just going to name them. The first one's obviously named, the second one's age. Now I could call it N1, N2, A, B, C, but generally you're going to want, particularly in Python, it to be kind of alliterated what kind of value it is. Some people would even go so far as to, hang on a second. To start it with something like this. Oh, that would be, I guess, a string, and this would be an int. If you wanted to go that far, it's not really necessary, but there are some conventions where they kind of want you to specifically say what type it is. And I've heard some people who literally fight over how you name variables and stuff. We're not going to go that far. We just want to basically know how it all works. So, I've passed two things to this. The first one is just going to be simply hello, name, print. You are age, years old. So we'll come down here and I'll just do this again. So print2, I'll go with Bubba, and we'll go with 901. Let's take a little run. Hello, Bubba, you are 901 years old. So, a reminder of how the whole printing and stuff works in Python. Use the commas here. And it's going to print that variable this way. If this was Java, we'd actually use pluses. Actually Java or C# or some of the other languages. But there we go. So it's going to take them in the order that I pass it. Now if I flip this around, 901 to Bubba over here, this will still work, but obviously the output's going to look a little weird. Hello 901, you are Bubba years old. Since it doesn't really matter what, when I'm passing stuff, it's just going to plug it into a variable because there's no specific type. But I kind of do want it to be in this particular order. So it makes sense. There we go. So I passed it two things. They're different in this case. They don't necessarily have to be the same. We can make a couple more things here. Let's see, def. We'll just call it math. N1, N2, N3 maybe. So I'll give it 3 values. Total equals N1 plus N2 plus N3. And print the total is total. So I'll just say math. We'll go with 1, 2, 3, which should be 6 if I run it. It works. there it is. If I change some of these values, for example, if I made them all 3, then I should get 9, because 3 plus 3 is 9. So, here we go. Total is 9. So, a quick rundown of your basic methods. I can pass it numerous things. I can just simply print them like this. They don't have to be necessarily the same thing. In this case, they're all ints. I mean, I could give it some more values here if I wanted to. As you see, it doesn't matter. But in this particular case here, they are doing things in order, so I do kind of need to pass them in that particular order. Alright, and I can have as many of these pretty much as I want. You just have to make sure you keep track of what they are. I tend to use N1, N2, N3 when I'm passing numbers. But if you want to be more, I guess you could say, literated, so you can see everything, and it's a little easier to read, put the name of whatever that variable is. If you wanted to, if you're working with other people, it might even help to put the data type, like I mentioned before. That's entirely up to you. There's really no convention that forces you to do one thing or the other, or says this is right and this is wrong. It's really up to the individual, or if you're working for a company, it would be up to the company technically. But that's generally how your basic methods work. We see we don't have to give it anything we don't want. We can give it multiple things if we want, like this. And those multiple things don't have to be the same. I could just pass, strings and doubles, or I guess floats in Python, integers or other things if I need to, booleans even. And that's kind of your quick rundown of your very basic just methods. Next video, we're going to get into returning values and things.